Jema, everyone. Jema. Wonderful to see each one of you. And today is an important day because we're not concluding, but we are definitely coming to a restful place with a body of teachings around Bhakti Yoga today. We will savor them all our life. There are videos on our YouTube channel that you can enjoy. More are being uploaded every day. And very soon the entire list would be there. And we'll come back again and again to Bhakti Yoga. We will look at Bhakti Yoga from the angle of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Without Bhakti Yoga, there is no Karma Yoga. So it's like one is the trunk and the other is the fruit of the same tree. So we'll really stay connected here. Then Upasana Yoga is simply rituals and practices to bring forward our bhakti, and Jnana is recognition of the divine as Atma, Paramatma and Atma, and it is the culmination of bhakti. So we are not ever going away from bhakti. We are simply pausing one kind of study and to pick up another kind of study, another set of shlokas known as Karma Yoga very soon, so that we can get the full picture. My only recommendation is to spend a lot of your time in everything you can in God consciousness. So when you wake up, open your hands and you can chant the Karagare Vasate Lakshmi in the front, in the palms of, in the fingers is Lakshmi, in the middle is Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule tu Durga, in my wrist is Durga, and I bless myself. When I do that, I feel very different. And if for a moment I forget or my mind goes somewhere else, I say, no, I must come and do this because I feel this blast. It's you do this. So whether you know the Sanskrit or not, you can do this. That this part is Saraswati. This is Lakshmi. This is Saraswati, and this is Durga. When you put your foot down on earth, thank Mother Earth. May my day be awake. And when you take a shower, remember the sacred flow of divine knowledge that is compared to the holy Ganges. You may not have dipped in it, but you can remember any holy river because the river represents Mother Nature, Ma Saraswati. So think of that. In every moment, try and steep yourself in bhakti. That would be really lovely. Today, I want to continue to talk to you, answer your questions. I also wanted to share a chant, like a song that I've grown up with. It's chanted all over India in homes, and it has many more verses, but I wanted to teach you 3 of them and then send you those verses. So we can pull that up. Ishani, I wonder if you received those verses. And whenever you get a chance, you could pull them up. Yeah. So in the meantime, I would invite any question or comment. If anybody had something to share, you're most welcome. I would love to hear from you some aspect of the Bhakti Yoga teachings where your understanding of Ishwara, which is more of a mystical, spiritual understanding of God, opened a door for you. What was it that stays with you? What comes back to you? What lifts you? Would you like to share?
I can share something. I think that something that's very uplifting for me is the idea that God is a part of us and within us, and not necessarily only something that exists externally. And I think I really identify with Acharya Shunya ji, your teachings about finding power, which is good power and not, bad or abusive power, but just finding that power of God within yourself. So that's what kind of keeps me going and reminds me of that bhakti.
Beautiful. Is that Isha speaking?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Um, this is the non-dual approach to bhakti. And coming from a non-dual background, coming from a lineage of non-duality, scriptures and teachers, this is not only what I believed intellectually to be true in the beginning, like you are believing, that Ishwara is a part of you, that you are Ishwara, and that you're having a human experience, or Ishwara is having all its experience through all of us. Ishvara is having an experience through the earthworm. Ishvara is having an experience through the ant. Ishvara is having an experience through Isha and Shunya, right? So it's one self, and we are its many experiences. We are its dream. And initially, intellectually, it is really beautiful. But then with time, you will discover as your ego becomes more and more pure. Not that it's evil, but it becomes pure from its samsaric dust, from the denseness of its material identification into the subtleness of its own true nature. Then the ego realizes that I am the sparkling reflection of the divine. And then you recognize that you are acting in ways, thinking in ways, being in ways that you never planned for, you know? Like you didn't make a plan that this is how I will grow or this is how I will evolve. It's like you were expecting a view of the sky from a window, but then when you opened the curtains, you became the sky, you know? And that experience, it's indescribable. It's different for everybody. So what I'm trying to say is that the seers of the Advaita tradition, our parampara, not only intellectually verified the sagacity of these teachings, but have experientially benefited from this oneness. And I will ask you to show me your hands in that happy, cheerful way we do, if you too have had moments of that communion, that oneness. Yes? Yeah. There you go. Even Isha is doing that. So this is not just we learn something theoretically and then we said it. Of course, I want to tell you that there are great Mahatmas, there are great souls who are really renowned and great, who will insist upon telling you that the divine and you are separate and explain to you methodically what's wrong with Advaita. Advaita's answer to that is this: you are right. You're correct. At a certain phase of the ego, and for a bulk of us, and a bulk of the time, Ishvara is separate. And so we have to remember it. We have to, romanticize it, sentimentalize it. So Advaita does not exclude duality. Advaita includes it. That yes, that is why in the very beginning of Bhakti Yoga series, I explained how there are three perspectives. Please go back and review it. I know those videos are out already. The three perspectives of the divine. The first perspective begins where God is outside, separate. You are forever, you and God are forever separate. So there is God, there is Ishwara, there is you, and there is the world. So it's a triangle. And when you get tired of the world, you run to Ishwara's house, whatever it is, temple or mosque or church. And when you get bored of Ishwara, you go into the world to have a cup of maybe chai latte, different experiences. But then as we evolve further through Vedic teachings and understanding, we realize that actually this world and Ishvara are one. The good, bad, lovely, ugly experiences I have are none other but divine order. And divine order is playing out in its different hues. And so now we have two things, you and the sacred world. Even the ugliness in it, the sorrow in it, the pain in it is still divine. And many of you are here, and so living in the world is becoming easier. Would you agree with me? Have you progressed to this place? Yes? Yes. The third perspective is where once when you were meditating and you've been hearing, so you have inner permission, it's not blasphemy to think that Ishvara dwells within you, and you discover. And your pure awareness becomes vast as the universe. Now, Advaita agrees to these perspectives because Advaita or non-dual wisdom is the subtlest. So it can understand a progression of our perception. But those who are firmly attached to the dual perspective, which is all religions, they do not want to entertain that Ishvara could possibly be in us lowly creatures. Do you see my point? But we can understand. So there is no judgment. We understand. And we also understand that maybe beginning with Ishvara outside is okay for a lot of us. Because at least let's start there. That there is some presence. Then we see the universe as a sacred presence, and then we see the self as sacred. Now, for some of us, we've had some past lives with this knowledge, and I won't be surprised if you have. And so for you, accepting the non-dual perspective may be easier. Do you see what I mean? So we really cannot sit here and police this. And I'll tell you, in a given day, for me, all three perspectives are true. When I stand in front of my altar, perspective one, Ishvara is distant. When I'm serving something or someone in the world, including showing up to teach to all of you, it is perspective two. Ishvara is in the world, you are part of the world, I am serving you. This is my upasana, this is my bhakti to show up. And then when I'm alone with my thoughts, when I'm in meditation, contemplation, I'm in perspective oneness. Yeah? So we are having fun with these perspectives. And go ahead and review this again. Beautiful.
I see Rochelle has a raised hand.
Acharya Shunya ji, it's Rochelle. I really took to heart your recommending to us that we take this time to really review and to look inward. How am I changing with regard to bhakti, especially? And it was kind of a labyrinth, circuitous journaling that I did to have to even go back to what was I seeking to begin with? If, as you explained, even all the tools that we have been taught, they are not Ishvara, but a means. These are the tools. And then I went right back to what was it that I was seeking to begin with? Where did I begin? And, it was that yearning and suffering and pain of not connecting to Ishvara. And then we were given the tools, and I've used the tools, and I really focused on looking inward and realizing how much more looking inwards I am doing. And that made me feel more confident because I'm not looking out there so much. And then it took me actually quite a while to actually state how was I being changed with the bhakti. And the things that I came up with was that I'm more realizing that I'm going inwards and able to do that more frequently. And my focus was to discover my hridaya, my spiritual heart, as a way of really breaking through. And I guess that's what I'd like to share for now. But thank you for asking us the question, recommending that we take that to heart and doing the work. Thank you.
Thank you for doing the work. And the journey has begun clearly. Blessings.
Thank you.
There is a share in the chat as well. We hear from Suchira that Bhakti Yoga teachings have provided me with an anchor in my life, especially in the ups and downs of my samsaric life. Bhakti brings me back to the strength, beauty, and wholeness that lies within me and around me in the form of Ishwara, and creates a sense of calmness and surrender. My heart is full of gratitude for Shunyaji's teachings.
Thank you. And my gratitude to my Guru's teachings. That is how Parampara continues. Let me share with you, Suchira, and everyone, that one of the goals of Bhakti Yoga, if you can do that, you have benefited from Bhakti Yoga. Typically in samsara, we are dependent upon human relationships, human validation, human approval, human recognition, and human guidance. We leave Guru outside because we don't. If it's okay with you, human being is a Guru is a human body and all that, but we try not to focus on the body, the gender, the looks of the Guru. Don't bother. Think of Guru as a principle. So we leave Guru out. Now we think of, generally in samsara, we are dependent on humans. And they are always plus and minus. They are good also. Like I have a very great father, supportive partner, supportive, team members. That's all right. But if we can slowly take away our dependence on our human relationships, because they will not always be there for us, right? They can, even if they are really great, they might be death, disease, aging, all those things happen. So you want to gradually have your main relationship is with Ishwara. That way, even if you're sitting in a vacuum of relationships, you're feeling super supported. And between your human relationships also, like between you and your partner, bring Ishwara. Between you and your child, bring Ishwara. Bring you and your in-laws, bring Ishwara. That will purify your relationships also. You will either be the best version of you, dharmically speaking, and if it is not possible to be kind to these people, at least you will tolerate them with some kind of a blessing. Do you see what I mean? So you want to make Ishwara your anchor. Even with your teacher, you can think, okay, Ishwara has showed up as my teacher. It is Ishwara's job to take care of me. So Ishwara is showing up. Everywhere see Ishwara. Ishwara is an abstract, invisible, but all-pervading ultimate real. It is the principle because of which everything is. And as a result, this foundational intelligence will not let you down. And your crutches on human relationships will reduce, your engagement will purify, and at the minimum, you will seek to retreat with a prayer in your heart from someone. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So that is very important. Speaking on when Sachira said that from samsaric issues, I'm relying on Ishvara, it is correct. And make it a conscious movement towards Ishvara, definitely.